be talking to players from the entire team.
Today, I'm joined by Peyton Chatney.
What's your mindset when you step on the mound?
When did you learn you were going to be in Orleans?
What do you think that feeling is going to be like?
Hi, Cape League fans. This is Coach K, manager of the Orleans Firebirds, and I'm here to tell you that Cape League baseball is back this summer, and it's time to meet the Bird King.
Welcome into another episode of Meet the Bird Gang 2.0. I'm Noah Searson, and today I am joined by 2021 Firebird and current Auburn Tiger, Nate LaRue, who is a catcher for the Tigers. They start the season up later this February as he's gearing up. Thanks for giving up a couple minutes of your time today, Nate.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
All right, so I'm going to take it to the start, as I do with a lot of these interviews, because everybody's got a good story, how you got into sports, and for you guys, how you got into baseball. So, how did you get into sport and develop a love for it to the point where you're like, hey, this is something I might want to do someday?
I really don't know. I guess it started with t-ball. Everyone plays t-ball when they're little. So I guess it started there, and then as the years went on, just kept on playing, and really it was we put together a team with like me and a bunch of my childhood friends, and so we all just played like local tournaments and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And when you start playing every weekend, you get better and better and better, and so it just kind of developed, and kind of saw myself itching or wanting to play more baseball. And so here we are now.
Well, and of course, you're a player at Auburn now, a baseball player at Auburn. So you've at least found some success. You must have been a pretty good t-ball player, but you're not the only athlete in the family. Your brother Cole plays basketball at Kennesaw State. So did you guys kind of push each other and have almost like a sibling rivalry, of course, in a positive way when it came to sports?
Oh yeah, we so his deal is basketball, but before that, he actually played baseball a lot, and so we would always play in the backyard, play wiffle ball. We had these little Mardi Gras footballs, and you could throw all sorts of nasty pitches with them. And so me and him would compete for, hours in the backyard playing. And so I think that kind of set forth of like this is kind of what I want to do, and put that goal in my mind. And other than that, we always played basketball in the driveway. I actually taught him everything he knows in basketball until he grew like 8 inches one summer and just completely destroyed me.
So you're on the record. You used to dominate him in the driveway.
Oh, absolutely. He might tell you otherwise, but it was my driveway.
That's awesome. Maybe not as much today, but that's always a fun one. Growing up with a brother, always a good thing to push yourself. And, it worked. You guys were successful, both collegiate athletes, and even in high school, I'd like to take it there where you won your high school, the 7A state championship. It was the first baseball state championship in your high school's history in Mobile, Alabama. So can you just take me through that run a little bit and what it felt like?
No, our sophomore year, we had a really good group of seniors, and we had Bubba Thompson, who got drafted in the first round by the Rangers that year. And we always just fell short of it. But the group of guys that were in my grade, we won the middle school championship 3 years in a row. They won the JV championship 2 years in a row. And when, we all got back together again senior year, we always had that team chemistry. We always just push each other harder. And I really just think that was a big factor in, making that run and kind of, hey, like, guys, we can do this. We've been here before. We know what to do. So.
Well, and you go on this tremendous run, great run as a team, but at the same time, you're picking up traction as a prospect. I believe you're number 15 in Baseball America's rankings going into the 2019 MLB draft. And the really interesting thing was you were the starting catcher on that team, but you also projected as a potential pitcher. Even your coach went on record saying, hey, if this guy pitches, I think he could reach 95, 96 miles per hour. So what was that like, kind of battling between, do I stay with the thing that I've been doing this whole time, catching, or do I dip into pitching, which I know you had been a closer for the team, but you hadn't been doing as much?
Right. Really, it didn't make a difference to me. I was going to go and play wherever they needed me to. Because the first 3 years of high school, I played in right because we had a guy that was catching a year ahead of me. So I really was just wherever you need me to go, that's where I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna do my best in that position and give you all I got. So
Well, and going into that draft day comes, all of this buildup. What was your thinking? We know how it ended up now. You ended up at Auburn, but you actually got a call from the Pirates in the 11th round, I believe, and you told them, "Hey, I'm going to Auburn." Eventually, get drafted in the 25th round by the Blue Jays. Were you Auburn the entire time, or was there a point where you're like, "Hey, if I get drafted and the higher rounds, let's say, fourth, fifth, sixth, I might consider it more."
right, I think I was projected to go in the 5th round, and I had a bunch of my friends over, my family, and we all watched the 5th round, and it came and it went, and the other rounds came and went, and then the 11th round came, and they called me and said, "Hey, we want to draft you," and at that point, I just kind of figured, no, I'm just gonna go to Auburn. I don't think I don't think I've developed enough to be able to have success in the minors and in the big leagues right now. And so it was kind of a family decision, really. And but they ultimately left it up to me, and I felt like if I came here, I have at least 3 years to improve myself and hopefully go and win the College World Series one day.
Definitely a potential. You guys have a very talented squad. You got another War Eagle player playing with Orleans this summer in Hayden Mullins. We'll maybe get to him a bit later. But when you were coming to your decision to go to Auburn, was it an easy decision where you grew up wanting to go to Auburn your whole life, or did you explore other options when you were choosing where you wanted to play baseball?
I had one other offer from Alabama, and
Wow.
nothing
Auburn
against
versus
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah, nothing against Alabama, but I went and visited the campus, and it didn't really feel like home to me. It didn't really feel, um, not to sound cheesy, but like that warm fuzzy feeling. But yeah, I went and I visited Auburn, and it felt like home. Everyone was great, and I just saw myself here, and so here I am.
Now, I know in Alabama, college football, that rivalry, it's a big deal. Did you grow up in an Auburn household, or, what was your affiliation growing up?
Growing up, it was Alabama because
Okay. So
that's
you
what
went
my
across enemy lines.
oh yeah, that's what my whole family is. My whole family is big Alabama fans. And so I grew up doing that, and then came to Auburn. And as soon as I left Auburn, I converted. I was like, you know what, Auburn's the way to be. This is where it's happening. So
Well, and that's awesome. It's a great rivalry and, a great school to play baseball at. You guys are starting up the season later this month. I know your season got cut short last year, of course, because of COVID, but what was it like playing college baseball for the first time versus, high school baseball and what you had been playing before?
there's a big difference. The game is a lot faster. You're with a lot better players. Um, that was really it. At the end of the day, it's the same game: throw ball, hit ball, see ball. So yeah, really, it was just the game was a lot faster. But it's really exciting to get out here, with a bunch of fans. That's not just your family members and your teammates' family members. And so it's really cool to interact with them and the kids. And yeah.
And, going into this season, what's been your mentality? Obviously, the preseason, the lead up has not been the same. You can't train like you normally can together as a team always, but the goal is the same. You're there to win and compete for a College World Series. What is your feeling going into the season?
We all feel pretty good about it. We had a great fall. We've had a really good spring, and our team chemistry is just through the roof right now. All the seniors welcomed in the freshmen like they were their own, like they've been there for years, and I really think that's a big factor in being able to compete and make a good run. And so I think that's going to be big for us in the long run.
And obviously, you're focused on this season right now, but you're playing for the Orleans Firebirds this summer, and that season may seem far away, but it's really not. It's coming up faster than you may think. So when did you learn about the Cape, and when did you learn that you were going to be a 2021 Firebird?
I learned about the Cape a couple of years ago. And I think every little kid that dreams of, making baseball out of a career, they look into it and they see where's the best place to play. And everything I looked at said Cape Cod League.
Mm-hmm.
So I always, watched highlights from that on YouTube and like, man, this is where I want to be. And last fall, not last fall, 2 falls ago, my freshman year, Coach Nonamaker came up to me and said, "Hey, you want to play in the Cape?" I said, "Yeah." Awesome. And so, no, obviously that didn't work out because of COVID. But he came out to me again this fall and said, "Hey, you want to play with Orleans again?" I said, "Absolutely." And so, yeah, I'm just really excited to go up there and have fun.
And you get to do it with one of your teammates too. Like I said before, Hayden Mullins will also be playing for the Firebirds. We'll have an interview with him as well. So what is that like, getting to go with one of your current collegiate teammates?
It's a lot of fun. Me and him joke about it, like, "Oh man, what if we get to live together? Wouldn't that be sick?" But no, it's a lot of fun, especially getting to develop that relationship with him more than what it already is. So I think it'll be really good. It'll be a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, we could not be more excited to have you on the Cape this summer. I know Orleans is ready and, we're ecstatic. But as much as we've learned about you as a baseball player, it's time to put you on the spot. We're going to learn more about who you are as a person. So this is something I'm doing, at the end of our interview series we're doing, and it's called The Squeeze. And the way it works, much like the play in baseball, chaotic, I'm sure as a catcher, there's a lot of moving pieces. You don't know what's going to happen. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put a minute on the clock, and I'm going to fire a bunch of rapid fire questions for you to answer quickly. We're going to get through as many as possible, and, just have a little bit of fun with it. So you think you're ready for that?
All right, let's do it.
All righty. So I'm going to put a minute on the clock now, pull up my questions, and we'll start now. Starting with a hard one. Favorite teammate at Auburn?
Brayton Brown.
Okay, good one. Go-to quarantine activity?
Reading.
Okay, I like that. Who's on the pregame playlist?
Oof. Bazi or Khalid.
Okay. Do you have a nickname growing up or in baseball?
LaRue. Nate.
LaRue. Okay, last name. What's your go-to fast food restaurant?
Whataburger.
Whataburger. Definitely a Southern burger establishment. I like it. Favorite sport other than baseball?
Hockey.
Really? Interesting. Favorite TV show?
Letterkenny.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
All righty. Time is up. Hockey in Alabama. How did that happen?
So I don't really know a whole lot about the sport, but I like watching them fight. I think it's fun. And
I like watching them fight too. I'm from Minnesota, which is the quote unquote state of hockey. So I've been around it my whole life, but that is fascinating that you're into it. Who's your favorite team then?
I don't know.
So you just like the fights?
Yeah, I just like the fights. I like how physical they are. And you ever watch like the NHL mic'd up moments?
I have. Those are great.
Love those.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. A hockey fan from down south, Nate LaRue. That's awesome. We're running out of time on our interview series here. Thanks again for joining us. But before I let you go, I'm going to fire one more quick question at you. And that's a little tease for the Firebirds fans this season. And I'm going to ask you this. What can the Firebirds fans expect? What can they get excited for when they think about you playing for the Firebirds this season?
But that's like give them a tease or?
I mean, it's up to you. The floor is yours. What are you about?
You're gonna get a guy with a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and I'm gonna work hard and try and make my pitchers look good.
All righty. There you go. Nate LaRue trying to make his pitchers look good. I know all the pitchers will be excited to hear that. And hey, if you're on the Cape this summer and you want to talk hockey, mainly fighting, Nate's your guy. Thanks again for joining me today, Nate. It was great to talk to you. We cannot wait to see you in Orleans and have a successful year at Auburn this year.
Thank you, man. Can't wait to be up there.